You watch the game, watch the commercials. What was trending? Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Google is trends expert Jennifer Jones. Great to see you again, Jennifer.
You too, Fred.
Well, let's take a look at what caused the most buzz during the Super Bowl. I guess we can start with the halftime show that drew a lot of attention before the game, and I'm sure during the game.
It did. The Super Bowl is always part of the ultimate national conversation every single year. Folks are turning to Google for real-time authority on the cultural barometer. A couple of things that were searched during the halftime show, which featured Bad Bunny, who is a Puerto Rican artist who also won a Grammy earlier in the week. So a big week for him. One of the top search things were what celebrity cameos were in his halftime performance. We had, of course, Lady Gaga, who performed along with him, Ricky Martin, who also performed. And then some of the cameos included Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, Alex Earl, and Jessica Alba.
Interesting. And there was actually a wedding during the halftime show.
There was a wedding during the halftime show. So I'm glad that you asked that. I contributed to this top query, which was, is the wedding in the halftime show today real? It was. The story is that these folks got married on national television during the big game because they invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and he in turn invited them to get married during the halftime show.
Very interesting. And there were performances before the game that were also trending. Tell us about those.
There were. So the national anthem was actually sung by Charlie Puth. So he was one of the many artists that were performing during the weekend. And, some of the other artists that were searched alongside this week were Grammy winners like Olivia Dean and Lola Young. And Lady Gaga and, of course, Ricky Martin were also two of the top artists that were searched this week.
And I saw that some people were wondering, did I miss Green Day?
Yeah. Where's Green Day? Is he performing? Are they performing? So they were a breakout crew related to Super Bowl Sunday. And lots of folks wanted to know, of course, also about Kid Rock, who was on a separate halftime show. So many, many interests in singers this week.
And then there was the game and the players, which to some people that's secondary to all of this.
Yes.
But tell us what was trending.
Yeah, believe it or not, there was a game. A lot of people thought it was a little bit slow, but I enjoyed it. I did watch the whole game. It got a little more exciting towards the end. Some of the top searched players, the highest volume of searches, were both quarterbacks. So the New England Patriots quarterback is Drake May, and of course, the Seahawks quarterback, Sam Darnold, were both the top two trending athletes for the Super Bowl search. And then the New England Patriots wide receivers, Stephon Diggs and Mac Hollins, some argue didn't have a lot of action in the game last night, but they did make the top four for top search athletes during the game. And then the Seahawks running back, who was the game MVP, Kenneth Walker III. And funny enough, not in the necessarily the top trending athletes, but the top trending questions related to the Seahawks for the game was Jason Myers, the kicker. Now, he set a Super Bowl record yesterday by successfully kicking 5 field goals in a championship game. Other folks wanted to know, has a kicker ever been an MVP of a Super Bowl? And the answer is no, they have not. Even though Jason Myers may have deserved it, they have not yet not yet been rewarded it.
And for a while, it looked like those field goals might be the only scores, but that changed.
It did.
And of course, the commercials. Which ones managed to score?
Well, you know, the commercials aren't just for the game. There were some released last week before the game, which you can go to YouTube Ad Blitz, which is a one-stop shop for all of the Super Bowl commercials to watch any of them. Some of the top ones from last night, though, were Mr. Beast, Salesforce. Now, that one promised to give away $1 million to one lucky viewing fan. The Goodwill Dunkin' commercial, which was a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And then, of course, we always see spikes in the Budweiser Super Bowl ad. Last night's was called American Icons. And the Michelob Ultra featuring Kurt Russell was a top query. My favorite one, and not just because it was the Google ad, is the ad called New Home that features Gemini. I have a young son, and it features a mother and a son reimagining their new home with the use of Google Gemini. Another parent-child tearjerker of a commercial was the Lay's commercial, where the father is handing over the keys to the potato farm to his daughter. It was a top searched Lay's Super Bowl ad was top search, and it was another heartwarming one.
It was, and I think Google also had some YouTube TV spots running too that were entertaining.
We did. So it was called, I think it was Don't Settle for Meh was the name of it. And it was an all-star cast. So, people this year were saying, oh, there's no Kelsey in the Super Bowl. Well, there was a Kelsey in one of the top ads, and that was Jason Kelsey along with his wife, Kylie. They were featured in an incredible lineup of talent in this Don't Settle for Meh YouTube Super Bowl ad.
And where again can people turn to they can catch the ads, but really to learn more about what was trending?
Totally. You can always go to trends.google.com for real-time information on what is happening in the national conversation. You can find the trends in your area, in your state, in the US, and of course, across the globe. And then if you want to catch those commercials again at any time, you can go to YouTube Ad Blitz. And it's that one-stop shop, YouTube destinations, where you can catch before, during, and after the Super Bowl ads.
Terrific. Jennifer Jones, thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you, Fred.
The Haven 10,000 lantern is a smartly designed, beautiful solar light that you will love indoors or out. It is waterproof with up to 1,200 lumens of brightness. That's a lot of light. And the base becomes a flashlight at the push of a button. The power comes from a built-in lithium-ion battery recharged by the sun. The solar panel is built in, or USB-C. The battery can even recharge your phone. Did we mention how durable it is? How it folds down and can run for up to 120 hours on a charge? But the real power of the Haven Lantern comes from the people behind it and their mission to provide this quality lighting to those in the world who need it most, including in disaster emergencies. Your purchase helps to fund those efforts, and if you use the code TEXTINATION20, you'll get it at a 20% discount. That's TEXTINATION20 at havenlantern.com. Create your haven.